Thank you for joining us on a very busy Monday night, day 10 of the war in the Middle East, and we are tracking the repercussions for you right here at home, including those surging gas prices. But late this afternoon, President Trump told our Weijia Jiang that the war is, quote, very complete and very far ahead of schedule. And then just moments ago at his first official press conference since the war began, he expanded on those comments, saying victory is now close at hand after the U.S. and Israel wiped out, as he put it, quote, every single force in Iran. We have multiple reports on this tonight, starting with our senior White House correspondent, Weijia Jiang. Weijia, good evening to you. You spoke to the president. What did he tell you?
Tony, good evening. I called President Trump to talk about his latest thinking about how long the war could last, and I asked him what percentage of the war is done. The president told me he thinks the war is, quote, very complete. He went on to say Iran has no navy, no communications, no air force, and that their missiles are down to a scatter. When Trump first launched the strikes, he estimated this war would last for about 4 to 5 weeks, and he said today that the U.S. is very far ahead of that schedule. We also spoke about Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, the son of the former Ayatollah who was killed in the strikes. Trump has expressed his disapproval of that choice, but said he has no message right now for Khamenei whatsoever. I asked the president if he had someone else in mind, and he said he did, although he would not elaborate. I asked, have you been in touch with this person? And he said, I don't want to say anything about that, but yeah, I do. Tony?
Weijia, thank you very much. For more, let's bring in Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes, who's been following the president's comments. Nancy, good evening. We heard a lot from the president today. What stood out to you?
Well, Tony, what stood out was that late this afternoon, just a few hours after he told Weijia that the war is almost complete, President Trump spoke at a Republican retreat and said he will not relent until the enemy is defeated, which seemed to signal a longer conflict. He's also been making some new claims about why he went to war and why now.
How good is our military? Right?
At his golf club in Doral, Florida, President Trump told House Republicans he had to wage war because Iran was about to strike the U.S.
Within a week, they were going to attack us 100%. They were ready.
It was the first time he had offered that timeline, and it comes one day after he made this unsubstantiated claim. He said the U.S. had to act because Iran was about to attack the entire Middle East and take it over.
No, I don't think there have been any indications that they were planning an attack at this time.
CBS News contributor Elliot Ackerman is a veteran of the Marines and the CIA.
There is sort of a shifting reason for why we're fighting the war and shifting reasons as to what the objectives of the war are. I think as Americans, it should give us some caution because it's very difficult to win a war if it's not clearly understood what the war is about.
Trump also weighed in this weekend on the bombing of an Iranian girls' school.
In my opinion, and based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
But CBS News has learned that a preliminary U.S. assessment suggests the United States, not Iran, was likely responsible and may have hit the school in error using dated intelligence. CBS's Major Garrett asked Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth about that assessment on 60 Minutes.
If you could tell the American public it definitively was not us, you would tell us, wouldn't you?
I would say that it's being investigated, which is the only answer I'm prepared to give.
President Trump spoke to Russian President Vladimir Putin today, and Trump told reporters that Putin wants to be helpful and constructive in the Middle East. But CBS News confirmed several days ago that Russia has actually been sharing intelligence with Iran on U.S. military targets. Tony?
Nancy, thank you very much.